Anime has been coming over from Japan since the early 70s, but really started to take off in the United States through the Sci Fi Channel and Cartoon Network's Toonami block in the late 90s and early 2000s. VHS tapes and DVDs of anime shows are typically twice as expensive as a copy of a current Western show or series, mostly because it was supplied to a niche audience. I love anime. I have spent over $250 for my 12 DVD box set of Neon Genesis Evangelion when I was 20. Now, you can find anime on most streaming services like Hulu and Netflix, and it has its own dedicated streaming service called Crunchyroll. The price for physical copies has also gone down. As a parent now in my 40s, I grew up with Mobile Suit Gundam when I was 6, and then got to see shows like Trigun and Gundam Wing in my late teens. I watched full-length movies like Akira, Ghost in the Shell, and Ninja Scroll. So naturally, when my oldest daughter and my son showed an interest in anime and manga, I was excited to be able to share the shows I love with them, as well as learn what they enjoyed, and it gave us a great way to bond and have conversations. I realized that not everyone my age or older grew up watching anime. Like I said, it was not as popular then as it is now. The anime culture has permeated into different subcultures. One only has to go on Instagram or TikTok to see the current gym culture's embrace of anime, the way ladies embrace cosplay, and other tie-ins to pop culture. Maybe this is new to you. Maybe your child's love for anime is not something you really understand because you have no basis to create any informed opinion on. Allow me to help. Consider this your primer to anime, your episode 0, as it were. Today, we will discuss the basic subgenres of an anime and provide some examples. Then we will talk about phrases that you may hear that come from anime. In later episodes, we will discuss specific anime, how to best understand them, my opinion of an age rating, and what you could discuss with your child. I am at the time of this video 43, and I watch my fair share of anime still, much of it from suggestions from my kids, which allows me to have discussions with them, but also understand what it is that they watch. The first subgenre to talk about is shonen. This could be considered more of a demographic than a genre itself, as shonen means for boys, and comes from the manga side of the culture. This will include many shows that overlap with other subgenres, but it is best understood that this is anime created with the male demographic in mind. That isn't to say it is exclusive to boys, but that was a target audience when the show was created. This can be anything from high school dramas, a romance from the male perspective, fantasy, or science fiction. Popular shonen are Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Naruto, and Attack on Titan. If there is one for the boys, then naturally there is one for the girls, and that is what shoujo anime is. Consider it the exact opposite of shonen. Popular shoujo are Maid-sama, Fruits Basket, and Ouran High School Host Club. Moving to a more mature content, seinen would be best described as a mature shonen. So if Naruto is rated PG or PG-13, then seinen would be more serious, R-rated style anime. The violence is heavier, the high school drama is gone, and the characters may have more depth and tragedy to them. Much of the shonen portrays their lead characters as young heroes. In this subgenre, the main character may have been the hero, but lost their way, or lost their battles, giving them a deeper and sometimes darker story. These are the series that I would not recommend for young children, and I would expect you to know your child and what they can handle. Examples of this are Berserk, Vinland Saga, and Ghost in the Shell. And again, if seinen is grown-up shonen, then josei is the grown-up shoujo. Geared towards a female audience, this deals with many of the same complex adult themes, as well as some that are more exclusive to this genre. Popular examples are Paradise Kiss, Yuri on Ice, and Princess Jellyfish. Ecchi is our next subgenre, and it's complicated. Ecchi is a flirty, over-the-top, without being explicit anime. It is famous for fan service, which are random and over-the-top displays of legs, panty shots, and cleavage in the anime. Depending on the show and the creator's intended audience, this could be common in every episode or limited to certain shots and moments. A high school-based ecchi will almost always include a beach episode or a hot tub episode or something like that. It is over the top without being explicit. Nothing is actually seen on screen. The artist uses soap bubbles or steam to cover the girls. That isn't to say that the whole purpose is just to show skin. Many of them have, shall we say, well-developed characters and complex story arcs. Examples of this genre are far-ranging and can overlap into other genres as well, such as Food Wars, Kill la Kill, and Rent a Girlfriend. Similar to this, but different in its own style, is the harem subgenre. As the name suggests, it's an anime where one character has multiple love interests. It can go both ways, where the boy has multiple girls that fawn over him, or a girl can have several boys fighting for her hand. Sometimes it isn't love that they want from the main character, but merely their attention or positive affections. While in ecchi, Rent-A-Girlfriend also fits the harem model. Other examples are Sword Art Online and quintessential quintuplets. Isekai is the next genre, and this is the fairy tales and dragons, magic and sorcery genre. Oftentimes, it could be a juxtaposition of the main character coming from our world into this fantasy world. This genre often blends with the others. An isekai can be a shonen or shoujo, and may have a harem or ecchi feel to it. It may take on a serious tone, but most often it's built for a younger audience. Examples of this are Sword Art Online, ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, and Digimon. This next subgenre is the one that I believe most think of when anime comes to mind, and that is the mecha genre. This is your giant robots in space and on the Earth. The stories for the mecha genre can be complex and deal with adult topics and political ideologies, but the usage of giant robots helps simplify the ideas to a way that younger audiences can digest what is happening. But really, it's all about the robots. Examples of this genre is Neon Genesis Evangelion and the numerous Gundam shows and spin-offs. Our next subgenre is slice of life. This genre disperses with the robots and dragons, the fantasies and futuristic ideas, and deals with living in an everyday life. There are exceptions to the rules. For example, in the series March Comes In Like a Lion, the main character is a teenager living on his own and is a nationally ranked shogi player. It's not common to see a younger teenager living on their own, but that happens in this genre. Beyond that, the stories typically deal with everyday life and handling jobs, relationships, and other emotions. The main character may have a personal obstacle to overcome, and that may be the main story arc, or what gets you to know them. Examples of this are A Silent Voice, Your Lie in April, and Blue Period. The next genre is Kodomomuke anime. This is best described as anime that is designed for small children. It's usually cute, and is drawn in a way to appeal to a very young audience. If you're thinking Pokemon, then you're right on the mark. Digimon also fits, as well as Beyblade. If there is a car game or toy associated with it, and usually it's a Kodomomuke. Our last subgenre is Iashiki. The word means healing, and this subgenre has a lot of overlap with other genres, usually slice of life shows. I think the best way to describe it will be as gentle, with low levels of excitement and no intense action or comedic scenes. Think of it as a feel-good genre. The artwork and music also play into the form of the genre. The best example I can think of is My Neighbor Totoro. There's no antagonist in this movie, and it just feels calming to watch. Those are the basic styles and subgenres of anime that you can expect to see. Like any television show or movie, there are great shows and then there are terrible ones. There are also shows in the middle, and some that come along and change the way you think of a genre entirely. Now that the primer is out of the way, future episodes will focus around a specific show or movie and will provide you with my thoughts on it as a parent, what to look for, why it's popular, and my personal recommended age. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing so you can get notified of future episodes.